Hi, welcome to Linux channel. See, one of the question I get quite often, or I get often this query in email or LinkedIn, some sort of private channel like that is that somebody may ask that I'm new to that, can I learn that, and then put some projects done in my resume, and I can do some projects and then list it down in my resume. Sometimes they tend to ask more about putting any fake projects and stuff like that, which is what I thought. I have long back done one video, but again I thought let me do something which should help you in a much more in a spiritual way. So let's take anybody's resume. The whole purpose of resume is like a portfolio of yourself, the things you have done, you have achieved, and your capabilities, your experience, and stuff like that. So the whole thing shows, in a way to say your karma, like what you have done and what your achievements. So now it comes how much you make it presentable. The question is how much you make it presentable, marketable, okay, is another factor, because you can say something you have done and at the same time you can completely boost yourself and make it more sellable, marketable, and how much it can backfire and how much something can become excess. Okay, so that's what is the problem, is how much you do something and it becomes so obvious somebody may find it quite repulsive and excess. So to kind of put things in perspective, let's say you have put some few projects and excessively something you have not done. I have even encountered some strange cases. Somebody claimed that they have some 5 months of experience. Okay, then I asked, did you, like, I was hunting for part-time job. He's a fresher. I mean, I just got some profile. Then he said that I have some 5 months of experience and something. Then I asked, did you work really? Then he said, no, you know I was doing some projects in my home, and I have not worked for anyone. I was just trying to do some projects myself. And so that I told, it doesn't come or count as experience. It's just that you are learning yourself, you are doing some self study. It doesn't come as experience. So this is again, people get confused and they tend to mention all these things excessively in their resume, expecting that they will get some job quickly. So let me just try to put things in a different perspective. You can get the picture. See, the whole point of resume, as I said, is you are putting all your skills, capabilities. Yes, of course, as a beginner you will have far too less skills and capabilities, so it is quite okay. Even a fresher's resume can have just one page listing down whatever things they know and not boosting too many things which they are not comfortable with. So try to focus your resume in that aspect. The second spiritual aspect is, every time you boost about something, it's where the Rahu's energy comes into picture. Yes, here some may claim that I don't understand or I'm not interested in astrology and all. I just want you to ignore, it's not about astrology, it's about a certain quality. So let's just keep a name of this quality, which is actually the the Rahu's aspect. See, Rahu is a is like a sort of, how to describe this, is not a true planet, it's a illusionary planet. So you tend to create some sort of illusion, and it's more represented like a smoke. It's like an illusion, something which is not there is shown, something is there is hidden. So this is what Rahu is. So generally movie actors and people who have strong Rahu can become a good movie actor and stuff, because their work is to act, and same way magicians and stuff like that. So let's take some analogy, let's take some few examples I can show you, and we can relate with your resume as well. See, I have some few this product wrapper. So this is my baby's soap. As you can see here, this is Johnson's baby soap, and then I got this close-up paste. Then I have something like this. As you see in all these wrappers, okay, the whatever branding they put, okay, is what actually Rahu is. See, these wrappers have two main purposes. One is to protect the product. Okay, it has to protect the product. For example, this dark fantasy, since it's a edible product, they need to put that biscuit or that cookie type whatever inside this, and it's protecting the product. So hence the role of Saturn comes into the picture. Anywhere you need to protect something, it's what the purpose of Saturn is. Same way Saturn also represents your karma and all. Hence the whole resume, whatever you put, things which are actually done, actually accomplished, experienced, is what Saturn is. The whole resume itself is a true representation of yourself, your karma, which is Saturn. So same way, its main job is to protect the product. It has to contain the product. See, for example, this guy is selling, buy 3 get 1 free, something like that. So hence, they need to put all that soaps in one container. So it has to contain the product and it has to protect that product. Hence the nature of Saturn comes. Same way, I can show another example. See, for example, I have this coffee powder. It has to contain this coffee powder, and it has to also at the same time you can take an advantage of this wrapper, and you can showcase your brand and other specs of your product. In one case, you see, this is an Himalaya baby shampoo. I have just removed that shrink wrap actually long back, and as you see here, it doesn't have any name now, so it looks naked. So you see there only the product is there, only the case of that or this container of the product is there. So it only represents the Saturn nature. The Rahu aspect or the marketing aspect is been sort of stripped away, but still this cap has this typical green color which most Himalayan products are. You can always find a white container and a green lid and stuff like that. Same way in this case, this cap portion is in the green. Okay. Hence, most of the aspect of Rahu is been stripped away from this. But there are some conditions apply. If you get an iPhone or any Apple products, it's less to do with Rahu, it's more to do with Shukra actually. So there are exceptions. These are everyday consumer goods, consumables, everyday consumables. This is fine. This is more to do with Saturn, because these are basic needs for a human being actually, apart from food, shelter and this thing actually. So this is comes under a basic need of a human being, versus if you see Apple products or any expensive luxury brands, that is more to do with the Shukra. Hence, since it is represented by Shukra, always you find almost the middle of this box just a small tiny Apple logo. They don't put Apple everywhere, and you rotate, it will be plain blank here, and again you rotate somewhere down, they may print this is Apple made in China, product from USA, something like that. So they will put very small text here, but just one small Apple logo here, sideways you will get one small Apple logo here, some specs, serial number and stuff like that. So this is very common in very high-end product. Some may just copy but the thing is you don't need to put flashy names everywhere. So the more simpler it is, the more classy it looks. Hence that is not Rahu is not much applicable for luxury brands. You buy some Louis Vuitton, Gucci or something, it is just not about Rahu. It's more to do with Shukra. You want to show that you are flamboyant, you want to show that you are more richer. Of course, see, Apple products in India are attributed towards more sophisticated and rich people, because it's more expensive here, versus in US it is not the case. Okay, so hence in that case, no matter what it is, the whole brand represents luxury and a finest product at a premium cost and stuff like that. Hence there Shukra plays a part. If you have a resume which has, I got some UI profiles and I found very good looking resumes. I don't know whether they work, I mean they have good skill sets or not, but their resume is really good looking. I mean, trust me, they are really good looking, and even I found couple of guys are really good in terms of skills as well as their resume, including a fresher actually. So hence I'm saying, if the resume is very colorful, good looking, and it's neatly put together, neatly arranged, so that represents some aspect of Shukra as well. It's just not Rahu. It's not flashy. That resume is not flashy. Got couple of them what I got. I was searching for some full stack developers, and I even got, as I said, I even got some couple of freshers, but their resume is really looking good, elegant and neatly done, and that I can say that they have very good Venus or Shukra aspect. And these are the people actually I want them as UI developers, because the one of the most fundamental aspect of any UI developer is they need to be creative, they need to know the colors, they need to know how to make any UI interface or websites good looking, and stuff like that. Hence the quality of Venus is very important for them and they need to be naturally born artists. So if I find a UI developer whose resume looks like as if it is typed in some typewriter, MS Word or Notepad, definitely I will think twice. I don't really may shortlist them by just looking at their resume itself. So this is what it is. So hence, if I look for cybersec expert, I'm fine with that. The more it looks cryptic, I like their resumes. But if it is meant for UI developers, definitely I expect their resumes to be good looking. At least resume should look good looking no matter if they have skills or not. So there itself it reflects whether they are passionate in that job as a part of their career or not. So that is a test, initial test. Even I don't need to call them for telephonic rounds and stuff. By looking at their resume, we can definitely judge that. So hence I'm saying, if it is a luxury brand unlike these, okay, then it is more to do with Shukra or Venus aspect. They don't need to show their brand name printed bold, big everywhere. Just a small pinch over here in the entire box, or just somewhere in this corner, means you are really like above Rahu, and you just want to show that who the boss is actually. So then that's the thing actually. So hence this is what it is. Hence, if you want to do something, you should have some game plan. It's just not that you do something and same way, as I said, it's just not that somebody did it, worked out, why don't I do the same? I can settle, I can get some job here or settle somewhere in the abroad and stuff. So it's just not the way it works actually. Or it may work for few people, may not work for you. So you need to understand all these things plays around, and it's just a God's wish what he wants to do with your individual life. Your resume has two parts. One is your accomplishments, and you put them, and whatever work you have done, your karma, whatever you have done. Karma means work, responsibility, and many names it as. Okay, it doesn't mean always bad deeds. Unfortunately, many associate with good deeds and bad deeds. That's not karma. Karma is your work, your responsibilities, and many things. Your core responsibilities is karma, and day-to-day work responsibilities is also karma. Hence your resume has to reflect that most of the times. And then if you write whatever in your resume, you mention whatever in your resume, will be mostly scrutinized by the companies. The more you create a mental facade, the more you kind of put all this fake stuff, what will happen is, sometimes if you overdo, or your current Mahadasha, Antardasha is somewhat like Saturn, Ketu or something, then it will even backfire. Okay, so you need to also know when to do some some stuff like that, when definitely to be avoided. Okay, I recommend, of course you don't do that, but I'm still saying, if you overdo, then it will backfire. You may almost get a job, but you may also get somebody like me who is over passionate, and I may ask more questions on those projects you put across, and I may find that somewhere you mentioned so many interesting things, but you don't have actually the grip in that real subject. So hence you may get caught, or stuff like that. So this is what Rahu does actually. So you see there, just because you can put brand name, what they have done is they have put on every corner of this container, which is still fine. I mean, always all brands does that, which I'm not complaining them, but this is what is Rahu's energy is. The whole thing is to create the whole branding itself is a it's a psychological stuff, as everybody understands. The way you put the font, the way you put the product and stuff. So the more you encourage Rahu's energy rather than you encourage Saturn's aspect, which is a taskmaster. Okay, so instead of that, you will end up inviting more of Rahu's energy by putting that. So this will apply no matter which religion you are. Again, I'm saying Rahu is not some deity or something. If you don't want to consider, you can consider it's a concept. It's the whole qualities we can describe as the Rahu. So one analogy we can even take as see, for example, most of you must have watched the recent Indian Shark Tank series, which I thoroughly enjoyed, and you can see there is a word where the boat CEO Aman Gupta always wears his company logos t-shirt, which is again it is showcasing constant reminder. He himself is a brand ambassador, sort of wearing his own brand on his t-shirt. So this again somewhat it represents a Rahu, but this is the catch. There's a way you can represent Rahu in a good way or in a bad way. So Rahu also associates with a lot of R&D and being passionate about things. Unfortunately, even addiction is also represented by Rahu, and if you find many cyber security ethical hackers may have some Rahu's aspect. Same way, a hacker who is a black hat, who is doing malicious things, also can be having a good Rahu in his chart. So unfortunately, the Rahu in him is actually making him to do such things as well. Same way, you may have also any thief may have some Rahu's aspect. So just try to understand this energy or this quality, and you can better make use. Of course you can put a brand name. See, this is a brand, Johnson's Baby. So I feel it is very mild and very fine. But in case if I wash my kid's face with the soap, she don't much cry, versus our regular adult soaps. So naturally it is more milder. Same way the shampoo of this. So again, I'm not endorsing, but I'm generally saying. So you may have brand loyalty. Same way I have a brand loyalty towards Casio. So you can see there, I'm just wearing one of the most popular and as well the simpler one. I don't like even those edifies or those G-Shocks compared to this one. This is the most vintage one, and this is what actually revolutionized the whole digital watches and stuff. So I'm wearing the iconic F91W. So in this case, the timepiece represents actually a Saturn aspect, and if you wear something which is complete show off, it actually represents Rahu. So if you consider, in this video I'm wearing this bright red or this saffron like colored sweatshirt, this is actually Rahu. This color is more like Rahu because it's more catchy. Okay, if I wear something dull gray or some neutral colors, some sort of shades of blue or something, it is fine. But this is really like it's a catchy color. This is Rahu, but in this case this is more of Saturn. So hence you can sort of understand this, and if you don't want to believe, it is still fine, but you will end up knowingly or unknowingly attracting that energy, and you need to bear the consequences, because the more you put all those fake experiences, this is a misconception with the freshers. They tend to put more projects, this I have done, that I have done, expecting companies will go through them and then give them a job. Even recently I got some couple of mails like that. I'm very new to Linux, and can I do some projects and then put this experience in my resume? The problem is, what extent, what is the actual objective you want? It's just Linux is like a big ocean. You want to do in user space, you want to do in applications, you want to get into some kernel space, or you want to do some UI work in that. What is that you want to do? So hence spend some time, and then just don't get carried away by that this job market, I do this and then get a job. Just don't get carried away. Just focus on your core skills and your things which you are passionate in terms of accomplishing, the skill sets, and get some career around that skill sets actually. Hence use this energy wisely. It's very, it's very, the Rahu itself is like that. It creates a mental facade, and people tend to gain lot of things during their Rahu Mahadasha, and then they end up losing them, including me actually. So I have just finished my Rahu Mahadasha quite recently, so I can definitely say that what it gives, and end of the day what it can take away. You get, after it goes, you tend to get more spiritual, because you are out of that mental facade actually. So you get more clarity and more divine in that process. So hence I'm saying, somebody have done that. He really got a very good job. He got into even Google, Facebook or something. Just because he got that doesn't mean that he's going to have a happy life. Okay, the point is, what is that you are chasing actually. So it's just, you need some job at any cost. Unfortunately, you do this way, eventually you will end of the day bear some consequences down the lane. Hence I'm saying, just choose that, use that energy wisely. Somebody who puts something like this, they are really making a good product, and customers are happy. They are okay to put that brand name everywhere, just like I put the Linux channel name everywhere. They are fine to put that everywhere. But if you end up not understanding that in a proper way, and you tend to kind of expect some short term results without understanding much, then unfortunately it will backfire. The more projects you put, more you will get scrutinized in the interviews, and they find the panel, one or other person may more scrutinize those projects, and that could be a reason you may not be selected. And another reasons could be, suppose you are, like I said, you are undergoing Saturn Mahadasha, Shani Mahadasha, Antardasha, or Ketu or something like that, where you are required to have certain code of conduct, and you are actually getting this wrong confusion. Just because somebody have done that and they got a job, doesn't mean that it is applicable for you. He may have some strong Rahu position in his chart, or currently undergoing his Mahadasha, so he got succeeded, so called, he got succeeded getting that job. That doesn't mean you apply his formula and goof up your life. So this is what it is. So somebody is a thief, let him be a thief, because it's whatever it's, his spiritual aspect is like that actually. That doesn't mean you need to become a thief. Okay, it doesn't suit you. He can get away, nobody can catch him, at least for some or other day he will get caught, and he may face some punishment, or he may never get caught, and he may have some bad consequences eventually because of these kind of deeds. But so this is what I can tell majority of any such mail. So I feel this video I'm going to copy paste anytime if I get such mails. Focus on core skills, and it's not like few projects you do. Just try to learn, try to get some experience in that, try to do some R&D. Rahu is also R&D, so instead of doing this, you can actually do a lot of R&D, gain some experience, and use that energy in a proper way. So hope this video is useful. As usual, if you have any questions, be in touch via mail or LinkedIn or WhatsApp, or if it is a short query, if you are okay to discuss in public, be in touch via YouTube comments. So thanks a lot for joining me. Stay tuned. Have a nice day. Bye bye.